Hey folks, I thought I'd post a little bit of an explanation for this compare and contrast paragraph example so that you know what you're doing when you're formatting the comparison between the two Nike ads that you're selecting. So if you have a look at this document that I've posted to our content section, basically I've color coded a compare and contrast paragraph. The content for this paragraph obviously is nothing earth shattering. We're comparing Tim Hortons to Starbucks. But basically, the parts of a comparative paragraph are outlined for you. So you want to always start off by stating the conclusion that you have been able to draw based on comparison. When you're comparing two things, you're comparing those two things because you want to figure out which one is better or which one functions more effectively. You're always looking at two things in order to draw a conclusion. It's kind of like buying a car. You're comparing different models to figure out which one's best suited for you. So here we're looking at two different cafes and we're figuring out which one we like better. Now, whenever you're comparing things, you want to think about the points of comparison that you can make. So what do these things have in common overarchingly that you then can look at in order to critique the two things? So for Tim Hortons and Starbucks, we're looking at their in-store environment, the ambiance of the cafe itself. We're also looking at the products that they sell, like the drinks and the food. And then finally, we're looking at the price point of the two. So highlighted in green are the points of comparison. These are the umbrella sort of terms, the critique, the success criteria, if you will, that we're going to compare. Then we look at each thing. So I'm talking here about the in-store environment. First, I look at Starbucks, then I look at Tim Hortons and I compare the two. Then I move on to the products for Starbucks, then Tim Hortons. And then finally, price, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, and then I reiterate the conclusion that I've drawn. In yellow, you should always start and end with whatever conclusion you've been able to make based on your comparison. So if you're doing the Nike ads, you're basically going to state at the beginning which one is the best. Then you're going to state what it is that you're comparing. So you might be looking at use of logos, use of pathos, use of ethos, and you're going to compare the two ads. You're going to talk about the first ad, then the second ad. Then you're going to look at your next point of comparison, first ad, second ad. Then finally, your third point of comparison, first ad, second ad. I hope that helps to explain the format for the comparative paragraph. This example is setting up the format for you. You now are going to choose your two Nike ads and you're going to compare them to see which one's most effective. Thanks a lot. I hope you're having a good week. Talk to you soon.